Greetings, Soulswind here, and welcome to Let's Play Lord of the Rings: The Battle for Middle-earth, our final Good Forces units featurette, the Rohan faction. What does the Rohan have against the evil? Well, anyway, so what do we have against the evil forces, or the good factions that decide to attack Rohan? Well, we start with here, the very basics, the Rohan peasants. 100 resources to train and 10 command points, and it repairs build. I mean, like, they repair buildings, but anyway. Yeah, we can train these peasants here. I don't think they're really that useful because they are so difficult to keep alive. Groups of 5, but they are really easily taken down. Like anything, you just look at them wrong and they'll fall. And I just don't think they can be a suitable unit for anything. Unless we are thinking about, like, having them become the cannon fodder for the ranged units that we'll introduce in just a bit. Yeah, they are just not a very viable option here. Even in strength, in numbers, it's still not enough. Why? Because they start at 40 health. I think that's even lower than 50 of the orcs. Yeah, just think about that. They don't even really have weapons, so they just use the fists to punch. No good. Well, they can repair a structure, like they can be sent out to repair a structure, but the thing is that they need to survive first. They need to take out the enemies that are attacking that structure first. While in the base there are passive repairs, like when they're not under attack, the buildings do get repaired, so that's good enough for us, right? So I don't see the use for the peasants. Okay, anyways, yeah, they get their upgrades, but still, that doesn't really do much. But definitely you see a lot of difference with the upgrades though. They do become slightly tankier at a maximum 170 HP at rank 10. They take 30 seconds to train, but we can train and spam a lot of them though, because we're gonna have a lot of farms, so that's something to note at least. Like, we can spam the peasants out of 4 farms here right now, and we'll get 4 groups, so that's like 20 per 30 seconds, and that's a lot. And thing is, they don't have a reduction in build time, so that makes it a lot less viable. We'll start with the upgrades first, I guess. The Rohan Armory, 1,500 resources to build, and has got the weapon and armor upgrades for us at rank 1. The Armory doesn't rank up, but it's got 3,000 health, which is fine, I guess, compared to like 1,500 for many other structures. But anyways, looking at this construction process, it's pretty cool too. Different parts slowly rising out of the ground and getting added to the structure. Although a little unreal, but still is a really nice addition, like I've always been mentioning. I like these kind of details and not just an entire building just appearing like that. Animation looks like that. Quite repetitive. But more importantly, the very important upgrades. We have the banner carrier upgrade. 600 resources to research, ranks up a unit to rank 2. Now we've got the heavy armor, 1,000 resources to research, and provides a 60% armor. So again, it kind of scales with the unit as it ranks up, because it's 60% on its base armor, which is a lot more as they are higher ranked. So it would be really useful, a good investment. Forge Blade upgrades 800 resources to research and gives a static plus 50 damage, so it's just plus 50. So I would say all 3 upgrades are important, and they do not really take priority over the other because, well, once they're rank 2, they do replace themselves, like fallen units get replaced, and that is highly important. Even though we do have the well to help us heal the rank ones, but still, you know, like having them replace fallen units outside of combat, on the combat lines, yeah, that's something good. Anyway, what adds to Rohan peasants from the upgrades is something pretty significant actually. Start with Forge Blades, 300 resources to research. Standard villager wear. And now their swords become glowy. We have got the heavy armor, also 300. And 300 for the banner carrier. Let's get it too. Alright. And we can take a look at how the aesthetics change. You see? They now have got helmets. And they look so much more impressive with the helmet. The clothes look like leather armor. And then with the banner though, the horse head. And you can see kind of like a star on the banner. Yeah, it's like a star or something. But anyway, what's more important is this. Firstly, at rank 2, they are a little tankier at 60 health. Of course, with those armor upgrades and whatnot, is pretty good. But look at the bannerman. 120 health. Double that of a Rohan peasant. That gives it at least 2 more peasants worth of HP. If each is like 60 health right here, you see? So 120 and then 60 here. So that's equivalent to 8 peasants standing right here, you know? This is like 2 of them. So yeah, get the banner upgrades. It's a lot of difference. The armor, it just doesn't look good. It just looks creepy. Face armor. But anyway, that's the Rohan peasants. We want to really look at the actual soldiers of Rohan. Well, although they are a horse faction, we're gonna start with the non-horse options. And that is the Rohan archery range. 300 resources to build, trains and upgrades yeomen and elven archers. And I wanna complain about this later. But before that, let's take a look. At rank 1 is 3000 HP, and from rank 2 onwards is a plus 25%, faster build speed, plus 50% faster build speed at rank 3.
The archery range is ready!
Rohan yeomen archers. 300 resources, 15 command points, and 30 seconds to train. Strong versus cavalry and monsters, and weak versus swordsmen and heroes. Yeah, they're good against monsters because of the fire arrows. But I want to complain about fire arrows because they are only available at rank 2. Cost 1200 resources. We can afford that quite easily. But it is rank 2. And if we have a full command limit, we cannot get this upgrade. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Why would you lock a research behind rank 2 with no way to access it unless we perform badly? Oh well, whatever. Probably some balancing related matters. But yeah, that's rank 2. And well, Elven Warriors locked behind rank 2 is reasonable, but an upgrade? Really? Well, anyway, 700 resources and 20 command points, and we need a rank 2. So let's go to the rank 2 structure. That's over here. We'll do a comparison of the looks later. We do get the fire upgrades now. The fire arrow upgrades, plus 15 damage. Static value doesn't scale with the ranking. We also get the Elven Warriors, which is no, let's get the Elven Warriors from here. Yeah, skilled with bow and sword. So the good thing about the Elven Warriors is that they can swap between melee and range attack. That kind of fills the role of somewhat tankier unit, because Rohan doesn't really have a very tanky unit like the Rohirrim riders. They are pretty high HP, but because they are absolutely weak against pikemen, that makes them not as viable an option as compared to the Elven Warriors here. Yeah, we get the fire arrow upgrades, and while waiting for it, let's look at the differences here. I really like these ladders here though, because it looks really believable that they would climb up the ladders, you know, and then like having a guard post here and the ladder going up there. It just looks so cool. And then these archers shooting makes the building feel alive. Although I don't understand why there's a heart here. Like, really? A heart? Okay, I guess it's just an arch. And if we zoom in closer, it's that of 2 golden horses. But still, you see this, right? It's a heart. But yeah, the building's design looks good. 3 targets, 2 bowmen. 2 archers rather. Now here it is walled up shooting range, while that's not walled up. That's about it. Like, I don't see much of a difference here. You can see that's pretty much just the walling and the pillar here. And yeah, the pillars do have got the horses on top of them. Then we got this one. 3 ladders now. I've been raving about the ladders, huh? Now it's 3 ladders. The wall looks the same, I think. Yeah. But then there's a tower added, and I think this tower fires arrows. Too bad there is no additional guard here. It would be nice if they added one more guard over here. But it'd be kind of awkward, right? Having this person push open the door while standing on the ladder. Yeah, that's kind of strange there. And how do you reach in to close the doors when you're leaving down the ladder, huh? Anyways, yeah. One more tower here and one more ladder here. Otherwise, the heart is still yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. So the rank 3 archery range is 6,000 HP, and this is 4,500 HP. All right, so it does provide a halving of the training time for the soldiers and whatnot.
Over here. Keep them at a distance.
Before we move on, this is how the bowmen look like. They look okay, still a little creepy with the face mask or face armor and whatnot, and the lower armor is also kind of creepy looking. I don't know why. It's just I don't know. I don't like the texture. Maybe it looks like a tiger or something skin, you know, but still looks kind of creepy for me. Zoomed out though, they're fine. Only zoomed in. They don't look so good. Anyways, they get the heavy armor, 300 resources to upgrade. Again, 500 resources on the fire arrows to upgrade per battalion. And then 300 on the banner carrier. So we're gonna get all the upgrades and we're gonna see any difference here. Well, the helmet becomes a little less creepy. You know, now it looks a little less creepy. And it looks golden. Yeah. These are still pretty much the same, but their arms become golden, yeah, and the creepy lower armor now becomes less creepy here. Yeah, I can see that. I think it's plate armor if anything, so it looks a little less creepy, thankfully, yeah. And the banner carrier still looks creepy. It's that of the yeomen. So yeah, what was this representation? That of the yeomen. And what is their health pool? Well, not that of the yeoman. It's still higher than the yeoman. Okay, if you were to take a look at this, the yeoman has got 100 health at rank 2, but the banner carrier,
Come together, hunters.
oh come on, is at 120 HP. So there is no equivalent to the banner carrier in terms of HP pool, but the character model is that of the yeoman, just without the pose, but with a sword. Yeah, alright. Now, with the elves though, their armor like this looks really, really cool. I really like this armor and the entire unit design. The helmet and whatnot, the bows and everything. They look so good. Do they have capes? No. They don't. But let's see, okay? They can switch over to the blades. And they look equally cool too. So they keep the bows there. You can see that. The animation. The swords are behind. You can see the bow and the swords when they change. Yep. Quite believable. The animation is fluid and nice. Alright. Now let's look at them with their upgrades. Forge blades, heavy armor, fire arrows, and banner carrier. And we'll see what's the difference here. Firstly, the forged blades, yeah, okay, there we go. It's just immediately taken out, huh? Yeah, it's a glowy one. And then now with the golden armor, they still look good, thankfully. Thank you for making them still look good with this golden armor here. And then the fire arrows, they probably will extinguish the arrow. No, they don't. They just put it back and it's suddenly extinguished. But yeah, the golden thingy. And thankfully, the banner carrier is a different banner carrier. It's that of the elves before the upgrades. Even the standard looks different. And it is rightfully so. They do not owe an allegiance to the Rohan faction. They're merely here to help. Because they are allied, they owe an alliance to the Rohan, but not an allegiance to the Rohan. I believe the words are different. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, so yeah, the character models for the Elven Warriors are good. I really like this one. And the standard too, the bluish banner here. So cool. Anyways, they get to combine with their other counterparts, even if they're unarmored or unupgraded. Swords or bows. So okay, they're both bows, right? When they combine, of course, they are fully upgraded. And you see what happens there, okay? Ta-dang! They swap to swords. So now, swords in front, archers behind, okay? And the thing is that, yeah, we actually lose half the fighting power. Because why? This group is gonna engage enemies at range, just like any other combined groups with range units behind. They will engage enemies at range, and the melee soldiers are gonna stand around doing nothing. So we gotta have the entire group of soldiers move into and amongst the enemies in order for both sides to fight. Like, the front row will be meleeing, and the back rows will be shooting. Otherwise, it's just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna stand around doing nothing and get shot at. Well, the back rows just have got 5 units of archers. Would have been 10 ranged archer warriors, you know, elven archers, elven warriors, shooting at the enemy. Now it's only 5. So, you know, like, especially Helm's Deep, accidentally combining them could be bad because we lose a lot of firepower. No, maybe Helm's Deep is fine. We do need to keep them alive, you know, like EXP does matter there. But I'm referring to LoTR, yes, that mission, LoTR. Don't combine them because we're losing half the firepower. Just shoot at range and keep them at bay. Don't let them approach LoTR. But otherwise, yeah, it's good to combine them. It's easier to keep them alive. Now, we can also combine the archers with the swordsmen. So let's combine this. Looks creepier, so let's combine these. Ta-da! Yeah, okay. But I didn't give them the fire arrows, so the fire arrows are still available for upgrade. And they're now not as spaced out as compared to this one. And I didn't show the formation thingy. Skirmish formation minus 50% armor for 25% damage. Yeah. Fine, I guess. Don't really use this often because we would want to keep them alive. And in that case, we do want to have them combined like this, if anything. Because it increases the tankiness of the Rohan peasants, given that even if all the Rohan peasants fall, we still have got the yeomen archers. They just are a larger number, so it's easier to preserve them and bring them back to heal. Let's take a look at horses of Rohan, the mounted options for Rohan. Obviously, they are horse faction. And the horses are from the Rohan stable. 600 resources to build the stable, trains and upgrades Rohirrim at rank 1. 3000 HP. Rank 2, plus 25% faster build speed. Rank 3, 50% faster build speed. And let's take a look at the construction. We got hearts. Yeah, we got hearts here. Yeah. Hearts. 2 hearts now, not 1. Really cool. 2 hearts. And then these things, like, more hearts. 4 hearts now. Yeah, you see how hearts are formed? By having 2 pillars rise up into the air and then crossing each other to form a heart. Right, anyways, if we zoom in, it's golden horses, okay? Golden horse statues. Alright, they do look really cool though. These golden archers here. Golden archers though. Remind you of something else? Well, anyways, yeah, the individual parts rising out of the ground as part of construction, really, really cool. What we're looking at first would be the Rohan Rohirrim warrior. Costs 420 resources to train. Nah, it's 600. It's just that because we have got the farms that do reduce costs of the cavalry by 30%. So therefore, it is 420. And we have a 180 reduction. 180, that's 30%, 70%. Each 10% is 6, therefore 420, you know, yeah, okay. 20 command points, good against swordsmen, weak against pikemen and bowmen. Well, Rohirrim warrior here, it's the main fighting force of Rohan. Having a group of them charging down the enemy units can be very impressive and very scary to look at if you're the enemy. Or inspiring if we are the ones controlling them. Unless we're charging them through the ranks of pikemen, then that's an absolutely wrong idea. Yeah. Well, these are pikemen themselves though, because the weapons, they're pikes. They're not exactly like swords or anything. They are the melee warriors of Rohan. We also have the ranged warriors of Rohan other than the yeomen and the elf allies. The Rohirrim archers, the mounted archers. These are the only mounted ranged units, I think, except for when you put ranged units on Mumakil. So, the Rohirrim archers, 700 resources to train. Now, that's actually a total of 1,000 resources before discounts and 20 command points. So, pretty much like the horses. You can even these out to be 10 groups of horses for a total of 50 horses on the battlefield. Not a lot, not a very impressive number. I mean, 50 horses, really? The Rohirrim charge at Pelennor Fields, imagine that with only 50 horses. But in this game, in skirmish mode at least, it's what it is, yeah. The Rohirrim archer is strong versus pikemen, but weak versus swordsmen. They are cavalry units though. So what does the game mean by them being strong against pikemen and weak against swordsmen? Strong versus pikemen, I've mentioned this before, I think in the Isengard episode, is that they do deal extra damage against pikemen by shooting their arrows against the pikemen. But if you were to charge against the pikemen, they do take extra damage. So it should have been weak against pikemen as well, because the weakness is where they take damage, right? So they take extra damage against pikemen because they are horses. So charge these things into pikes, watch them get liquidated. But they're weak against swordsmen. Well, if they can be kept at bay, like at range, and if we are good at maneuvering them away from the melee damage because they have got the mobility and the speed to get away from the swordsmen, they are not exactly weak against swordsmen. But they're weak because they take extra damage from the swords. I think it's because they don't have good slash armor. Now, let's take a look at the researches available, or upgrades available for the Rohirrim warriors. We got the forge plates, 300 resources to upgrade. And then heavy armor, 300 resources to upgrade. So forge plates plus 50 damage, heavy armor plus 60% to the armor, so it kind of scales. And then we've got this that I want to complain about, the horseman shields, 400 resources, but it's not available until we have rank 2. Here, look. Rank 2 stables, plus 80% armor. Yeah, sure. But what if we have got full command points? We can never get this thing. So our horses will be without this 80% armor. I want to complain about this because it's not a good design. Could have been done differently if you want to delay making this available. But anyways, we have got the banner carry upgrade 300 and levels them up to rank 2. That's all. Okay. So before we get the upgrades, we need some form of comparisons. The rank 1 stable over here to the rank 2 stable that's over here. Okay. So we have the 2 hearts here and the 2 horses peeking out from the stables. And same goes for this side, okay? 2 hearts and 2 horses peeking out from the stables. The haystack and the haystack, pretty much the same. And then the horse here with the stable hand handling the horseshoes and whatnot. Okay, so pretty much the same thing, except for the two banners that's above at the hearts. I don't think I noticed any other differences other than the banners here. And they are not even the same color as that of your faction. Like, you know, in skirmish mode it should be orange. This one's orange. We are now on the orange team. But no, it's not orange. It's just whatever this is. Green and magenta or red. Yeah, so kind of strange there. But whatever. I guess still works. Still looks good. Let me know if I missed out any differences though. But for the rank 2 versus the rank 3, there's a little bit more difference. And that is a tower. They love to add towers for rank 3s, huh? But anyway, these towers, I think, if I'm not mistaken, again, they do fire upon the enemies. And they have another banner on the top. Too bad no hearts here. And of course, the difference being that there's a 6,000 HP here as compared to the 4,500 and the 3,000 of the rank 1. Alright, so let's get the shield upgrade. I want to show the difference in XP, so it's a little bit here. Let's get the shield upgrade. 1,000 resources to research, and again, I would totally be down for this being available in other ways and not just having to get it to rank 2. Let's take a look at how they look like. Yeah, they have this glowy spear tip. And their armor looks cool. I think they look really good. Their helmets look pretty good too. But after they get their armor upgrade, they don't look so good here. Looks like 2 eyes. Why? Why? Looks like 2 eyes here. Why? I don't get it. Don't. Come on. Anyways, even the horses get an upgrade though. The horse armor. This chainmail here doesn't look good. It looks kind of scary. These look okay. So I would totally prefer the unupgraded armor in terms of aesthetics. This one looks like an unupgraded Rohirrim warrior. Huh. Now in terms of the banners, it's 120 here as compared to the 160 for the rank 2. Okay, so the HP is different. Again, it doesn't have a matching health pool for the Rohan faction. Now let's take a look at the archer ones. Okay, they look like that. Pretty much the same, just that they're holding bows now. Yeah, they do look different. They do have different armor, it seems, huh? Right, some of them have got this armor, some of them have got this armor. Like, yeah, they look different. They're horses though. They're different horses too. See? These are grey horses. These are chestnut horses. And also they have got different formations. I'll talk about that in just a bit. I almost forgot. Of course they've got the fire arrows at 500 and then 300 here for the banner. Don't like the armor. Don't like the eyes here. Don't like it. But otherwise the color looks good. The golden armor looks really good. Just not the eyes. I don't like the chainmail. Doesn't look good to me. Yeah. So yeah, indeed, the grey horses, they get the chainmail, while these other chestnut horses, they don't get the chainmail. They just get a little leather patch or a chainmail patch here. But yeah, it's a good thing though to have differing designs, like differing horse colors, because that's believable. Not all horses are the same color, and of course, to have them differentiated by armor design as well. That's a nice little detail to take note of. The banner is that of the melee one, okay? The melee unupgraded Rohirrim warrior, alright? Now, can we combine these though? Unfortunately not, but then again, it's also a good thing because you want the melee ones to be mobile and have the mobility to charge into enemy ranks and fight melee, while the ranged ones, you want to keep them away from the fray and shoot from afar, right? Okay, so one more thing I need to cover, and that would be the formation. The melee units have got the wedge formation, which is very expected for cavalry. They do have the wedge formation when charging enemy ranks. So they do get 25% more damage, but minus 25% armor. They just spring to their new position. And when you change them back, they don't just move back. You need to move the battalion for them to be in the row again. Yeah. Although the stats do change once you click on it though. And it's the same thing for the archers. Wedge in line formation, alright? And then we have got our peasants walking in, because I want to mention something again. You know what? These peasants, well, they can't be combined with the archers, but they can be combined with these Rohirrim riders. So let's combine them here. Yeah? The riders behind, the melee soldiers in front. Oh, they're all melee anyways, but still. The foot soldiers in front, the horses behind. I have no idea what you use this for, seriously. They move so slow now. Cannon fodder, really? They're not good fodders. Before they can even, like, flank the enemies, these would have fallen. I don't see any use for this. Let me know in the comments if you think there's something that I'm missing. But anyways, we do not have siege. There's no siege options available here. It's fine if it is the campaign, because you are fighting against either Mordor or Isengard without walls. But what if it's a skirmish mode then? Nothing to break down the walls. So what happens is that for this purpose, right, the game designers have thought about this. And they've given us an option in terms of siege. And that is this one, the Ent Moot. 5,000 resources to build the Ent Moot. It's a lot more expensive. The Ents will hold council before being selectable, but Ents will rally to your cause if attacked. And yeah, try to build this near the enemies. The enemies attack this building, the Ents immediately pop out, and the building gets constructed immediately, like instantly. What do I mean by the Ents though? Well, look. Here they are. So they complete their council as soon as they are attacked. But if they are not attacked, then they take a while and they will still conclude that they need to fight. So that's something. Meanwhile, these stones rise from the ground. They're believable because, you know, it's all about magic, you know. Like walking trees, huh? Dancing trees even. Like, look at them dance. And look at the construction of the Ent Moot. A stone by a stone, a rock by a rock. But thing is, they don't get attacked if we're to build it near the neutral monsters. This is a walk layer. If we were to build it here, the walks don't seem to want to attack the building, you know? So that's something interesting. But anyways, these Ents, they are timed 2000 HP per Ent. We get to train the Treebeard here. That's a hero, so I'm not going to train it here. I'm going to train it in the hero episode. Meanwhile, though, yeah, because they were like having that, the March of the Ents call, the Ents call, so they were faster, but now they're no longer as fast. Once they reach half health, though, they increase in move speed. But anyways, we get to train an Ent for 1,500 resources and 10 command points. They're good against swordsmen, siege equipment, but bad against bowmen and fire. It's not exactly bad against bowmen. They don't really take a lot of damage from bowmen because they're really that tanky. Use fires against these Ents and they are melted right away. So, yeah. But anyways, we can have these things pick up building chunk, and then they can throw the building chunks. They can also be told to throw rocks though, so they don't just like fight. So we can see them in combat later. I guess we'll have them fight something. So anyways, you can tell them to pick up a rock like that, which is a building chunk actually. Yeah? You can tell them to throw rocks if anything. And we want them to throw the rocks against these walls. Whee! And it does a lot of damage on the building too, so you can see how powerful that is, alright? And that's the building chunk, actually. So, taking a building chunk doesn't seem to work here because we can't really target our own structures and whatnot. But anyways, these do function as building chunks, as you have seen how it took one and we can still take more, okay? So that's a building chunk because we can easily tell them to throw rocks here, okay? And the rocks that they use is different. Okay, you know what, let's have them do the melee first, okay? Have them fight these things. Engage them. I don't want to destroy the lair yet. So, come in closer. Come on. Fight me, please. Thank you. Alright, you can fight this one. See, that's a melee fighting. Okay, just like that one hit. GG. That's it. Now. Okay, now throw rocks on this one. I don't want it to destroy that one. So, yeah, this is a different one. This is throw rocks, okay? So, it's different from the building chunk, which was taking a building chunk, or rather a rock from here as the building chunk, and we can still use this ability here in a way, like, you know, we can't really target it like this. It doesn't seem to work, but this hand grabbing cursor, or grabbing hand cursor, will work. It doesn't rank up though, so there's that. It's just the end here. It doesn't heal if it is damaged. Okay, so it will eventually fall. There are a few designs for the ends. Generally, there's two. This one, slightly lesser leaves, and this one with more leaves. Okay, so there are two designs. So I like how trees are different. Therefore, the ends have got at least two designs. Would have been better if it had more, maybe three. Yeah, but still, two is better than one, right? And we have got Trebia that looks different too, which is rightfully so, okay? So, you can see the move speed here, for that of the standard Ent. Of course, they need to move away for the other one to move. And this one, with lower health. So at low health, they move faster, okay? A lot faster. So now I'm going to show the stats on screen, and yeah. Alright, we have got all our units here. This is the fighting force for Rohan. I am glad that the developers kind of thought about the siege thingy, like the dilemma of Rohan not having any siege options and adding the Ents here, which is kind of lore accurate too, given that, you know, together with the Battle of Helm's Deep, the Ents were attacking Isengard, thereby preventing Saruman from sending even more forces against Helm's Deep. So that is something. And it's good to have them here, together with the elves too, giving another fighting option for the Rohan, and varying the gameplay for Rohan. Alright, I hope you found this featurette video helpful. I hope I've gotten almost all, if not all, information correct. Let me know if there's any mistakes or if I missed out anything. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, that's all for the unit featurettes. The next would be the heroes. So we're gonna take a look at the good faction and the bad faction heroes. It's gonna be a lot of things to cover. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. That's all I have for now. Have a nice day.
Lost.